IELTS speaking. I often ask this question to many people. The average speaking score of native English speakers is 7.1, which is shocking. Average score is 7.1. Then why not 9? Well, the answer stems from a small fact or an interesting fact that IELTS speaking is not speaking, it is communication. You may not good English, but are you a good communicator? This is one important question and it matters. IELTS speaking is the shortest of all modules. As you can see, it lasts 11 to 14 minutes. Many of you are good speakers or you will be. You will become a fluent English speaker or fluent English speakers. But your speaking score can be 6 or 6.5. And why not 9? Why not 8? Well, the reason is when you become a fluent speaker by speaking English like a Bangladeshi, typical Bangladeshi, you will be given 6 or 6.5 although you are a fluent speaker. That's why I tell candidates not to join language club from the very first day. I tell them wait. At first give some input, pure English to your brain, maybe 1 month, 2 months, or 2.5 months. After that, practice. Otherwise, right now, if you go to language club and start speaking, what shall you do? You will simply say the things you have already said in your life. The English you learned, well, mostly came from books, different books, grammar books, or something like that. You memorize some vocabularies and grammatical structures. When you make sentences, use the structures and the vocabularies. This is Bangladeshi pattern or Bangladeshi style. It is not the way the native speakers speak. If you cannot mimic their approach or replicate their approach, your speaking score will always be less than 7, even if you are a fluent speaker. Now, when candidates, a lot of candidates do not know what they need to do. They think, well, I cannot speak, I shall join a language club or I shall attend speaking classes so that I become a good speaker. I tell them, wait. If you go and start speaking, then what will happen? Your brain will memorize the structures. What kind of structures? The structures you have already learned from your childhood. And the English you will produce is not standard English or the English spoken by the native speakers, used by the native speakers. It is South Asian or Bangladeshi style. This is one reason. The second reason is candidates think speaking is speaking. Like I'm a good speaker, I will get a good score. This is another big mistake because native speakers do not get 9, they get 7.1. They can speak, they have good vocabularies, accent, pronunciation, everything good. Then why don't they get 9? Because IELTS speaking is not speaking. It's not a test of speaking, sir. Then it is a test of what? It's a test of communication. Who says that? Mahafuj Sir? No. Mahafuj Corporation? No. The book says that. The speaking test assesses whether candidates can communicate effectively in English. So it's a test of what? Communicate. Test of communicate. If you are a good communicator, you will be given a good score. Candidates do not realize that. Then it's not. For example, they have been asked to give a speech on a topic for 2 minutes, and they cannot speak coherently. Or when they speak, they cannot keep good eye contact. They don't smile nicely. They give answers to, for example, the question, what is your favorite color? Blue. And after that, they do not explain. Or the way they explain is not enjoyable to hear. There's a test of communication. Even if you take a Bangla test, Bangla speaking test, and if you are asked to give a speech on Bangabandhu for 2 minutes, many of you will not be able to speak for 2 minutes in Bangla. Then the Bangla you will say might seem boring. It must feel interesting, enjoyable, or it must show good communication, reflect good communication. Unfortunately, it does not, and that's why candidates get a poor score in speaking. They think I'm a good speaker, I will get a good score. No, you won't. Speaking is not speaking. It's not a test of speaking. It's a test of communication. And communication includes many things. Not only speaking, it includes your body language, dress, posture, eye contact, how you enter the room, how you exit, how you give your passport to the teacher, and how you receive it back. Okay. The whole interaction is called communication. Initially, I will give you tips to become a good communicator. So what do you need to become? A good communicate. And candidates, even many teachers, do not understand the distinction. They think speaking score is given based on fluency, coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and the last one is pronunciation. They look at the marking criteria and they tell candidates this is the criteria you need to follow. But they fail to tell it to the candidates. Marking criteria is a secondary marking criteria. The first criteria is communication. If you are a good communicator, then the teacher will give you good mark on fluency, coherence, marks on fluency, coherence, lexical resource, blah 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 blah. At first, you need to become a good communicator. Tips to become good communicator. The very first tip is use what? Familiar words. What kind of words do you need to use? Familiar means difficult vocabularies or easy? Easy vocabulary. You need to use easy vocabularies. Why? Because for speaking, we are comfortable hearing common words. For writing, you can use difficult vocabularies. For writing, it is okay. But for speaking, you need to use common vocabularies. The words that are used in an everyday conversation. Okay. Common vocabularies. The second one is what? Short forms. Communicate better. Tip number one is what? Second one is, sir, what is short forms? What are short forms? Short forms are contracted forms of different auxiliary verbs, nouns, and pronouns. Instead of saying it is, you can say it. She is, you can say she is. I have, you can say I. I would, you can say I. Sir, can I use both forms, long forms and short forms? Yes, you can. But it is better to use short forms. In speaking, we use short forms. In writing, we use long forms. So with regards to contracted form, okay, what is used in written? What is used in written communication? Long form. But for spoken communication, short form. Hard tip. No what? Discriminatory word. Sir, what does it mean? It's really important. Sir, how important is it? Well, if you are describing anything general, if we use man-made, it is a discriminatory word or a sexist word. Sir, why is it a sexist word? It simply says only men make things, or it refers to that. If the teacher is a feminist, even if the teacher is not a feminist, well, as teachers cannot be ideologically feminist, but some can be. Well, even if the person is just a normal person, or I mean, accepting your speech as from a neutral perspective or point of view, if you say man-made, see, you are already excluding half of our population. Half of or more than half of our population are women. What is wrong with women made? Do not women make things? Of course they make things. So for general communication, it is not a good idea to use the word man-made. Then what is a good idea, sir? Better substitutes are manufactured or of human origin. Third one is what? Manpower. So what's wrong with women power? Are not women powerful? They are also powerful too. For general communication, we shall skip using the word manpower. We will use human resources, personnel, workers instead. Your name is Sumaya and your future plan is to become or work in the police department. So do you want to become a policeman? No, you don't need to change your gender. You can become a police officer, right? Why shall you say policeman for general conversation? For general conversation, it is better to use police officer. Or you want to become a fireman in the future. Do you want to become a fireman? No, you want to become a firefighter. Nitu, you are a woman. Niti, okay, Niti. Holy Niti, you are putting on beautiful dress. Maybe it is what? Silk? Okay, it's silk. It comes from London. London. Fireman. Fireman has been replaced by firefighter. Likewise, for general communication, we don't use he or we don't use she, we use they. Batsman. Batsman has been changed into what? Batter. Okay. Do you play cricket? Suppose you are playing cricket and you are playing for Mahafuj Corporation against another corporation, and now you are batting. What shall you call? What shall we call you? Batswoman? Then what? Cameraman has been replaced by what? Cameraman. This is a very important tip. IELTS is speaking is not speaking, it is communication. So if the types of words you use, your word choice matters. Whether you use cameraman or camera operator, the teacher will notice it. You have not even thought of this, that these are important. You never thought. They are really important. There are many ways to avoid using sexist word. One of the ways is, if these are some examples. If anyone works hard, he will succeed or he will be successful. He is a discriminatory word. 4 ways to avoid using gender discriminatory words. The first way is change the structure of the sentence. The person who works hard will become successful. You don't need to use he or she. You say it in such a way, there is no need to use the word he or she. This is one way. Change the structure of the sentence. Use both genders like he or she. If anyone works hard, he or she will succeed. Use both genders. That is another way, but it is not efficient all the time. You have to use he or she always. Not a good idea. Third approach is even better. It says use plural third person. Anyone, and then pronoun is they. Everyone, they. Every worker, they. Every student, they. If anyone works hard, they will succeed. Sir, anyone is singular, but can I use plural they? Of course you can. This is the way to use. This is the way. And the last one is what? You. If you work hard, you will succeed. There are 4 ways to avoid using gender discriminatory words in speaking and writing. These are the 4 words I have mentioned. The best approach is to change the structure of the sentence. Second best approach is use plural third person. They. Another important approach is to use the word you. And the last, probably, I would suggest you to use both genders like he or she, him or her, his or her. Tip number 4, what is it? You viewpoint. In speaking, for communication, it is better to use you. Sir, in our case, the teacher is the examiner. The you is the examiner. Can I use you in my speech? Like, no, it is not a good idea to say, too much or for too many times. Then, sir, you ask us to use you viewpoint. Yes, for positive situations, positive examples, or where you is applicable, you can say you. The teacher has asked you a question. How should rich people spend their money? This is a question. And they can say good work. Here, you are giving an example. Suppose you are a billionaire. You are making teacher a billionaire. And you might want to do something for the street children or the poor people or the underprivileged community. Here the teacher will be happy. Oh, I'm a billionaire and I want to do something good. Okay, good. For positive examples, you can use the word you. It is better to use you attitude in conversation. But for negative situations, how should society treat criminals who have served prison terms? Criminals have already gone to prison and they have completed their sentences. How should society receive them or treat them? And here you are giving an example. Suppose you have committed a murder and you spent 3 years in the prison. Okay. No, for negative situations, you do not use the word you. You do not use the word you. You use the word they. For positive, you. And for negative, they. Next one. Focus on what? Positive language. It's very important. Focus on positive language. You can express yourself in 2 ways. How many ways? In most cases, you can express yourself in 2 ways. One is a positive way, another is the negative way. Which is better? All the time, the positive style of expressing yourself is better and carries more marks. Even in IELTS speaking, the positive way of expressing yourself is called euphemism. Repeat after me. Euphemism. But the negative way of expressing yourself is called dysphemism. Positive way is called euphemism and the negative way is called dysphemism. Politicians do that all the time. Newspapers do that. Journalists do that. Public speakers do that all the time. Okay. Sir, what is it? Can you please elaborate? Of course. Suppose you want to describe one sentence and the sentence you want to describe is in Bangla. You are writing a post. The headmaster of your high school has died. And you are writing, আমাদের প্রধান শিক্ষক বিদায় নিয়েছেন পৃথিবী. Fine. Okay. It says the person has died. Or you are writing, আমাদের প্রধান শিক্ষক অক্কা পেয়েছে. Fine. আমাদের প্রধান শিক্ষক পটল তুলছে. পোস্ট দিলেন. Which one is more appropriate? স্বর্গ নিবাসী হইলেন, জান্নাত নিবাসী হইলেন নাকি পটল তুলছে? কোনটা বলবা? তুমি এই কথাটারে যদি লেখো পটল তুলছে, মানুষ কি মনে করবো? ইচ্ছা মতো পচাইবো. Although the word potol tola means the person has died, but you cannot use the word, although it gives the same meaning, since it is a negative style of describing yourself. To describe Bangladesh, we do not say Bangladesh is a third world country. We say we are a developing nation. Because when we hear the word developing, it feels good. But when we hear third world junkie, it feels bad. Someone cannot walk. Okay, it's very difficult to hear. It's very hard for the person to hear. You can use the word she is physically challenged. Sir, why she? You are a feminist. You might disagree with me. Now I better write the word person. The person is physically challenged. It's one kind of discrimination. Sir, why she? He can be physically challenged too. These are some examples of euphemism. Okay, died, pass away. Old person, no. It's not a good word to use. Seniors. Poor, no. Use economically. It sounds good. Where were you in the last 3 months? I was in the correctional facility. What? Where were you? She was in the jail. No. Use the word correctional facility. It is positive expression. If you want to create positive vibe, if you want to deliver positive attitudes, then use the word correctional facility. But if you want to use negative expression or convey a negative attitude, you can use the word jail. She is lying or he is lying. No, the person is saying alternative facts. He said, I was lying. No, I was not lying. I was telling alternative facts. Alternative facts is an euphemism, but in actual term, it is lie or a lie. Japan used sex slaves in the Second World War, but Japanese newspapers do not use the word sex slaves. They use comfort women. It sounds good. And torture. No, they use the word enhance, interrogation. She is fat or he is fat. What? Fat? I'm not fat. Okay, you're full figured. Oh, garbage collector is a euphemism. Use the word sanitation. You may not have realized that these aspects also influence your score. These are people or parts of communication. Now I will tell you some sins of speaking we need to avoid. The first sin is gossip. First sin is what? What is called gossip? Is speaking ill of someone or something or some country. In IELTS speaking, you should not be saying negative things against a race, ethnicity, country, or a political ideology or person. One of the candidates did, many candidates did. One candidate I know did that, and the person scored poorly in speaking. The person scored very well in reading, writing, and listening, but poorly in speaking because he was asked a question, how can neighboring countries develop good relationship? And while answering, the person said, if your neighboring country, India, where Narendra Modi is the prime minister, who is a religious bigot, you might not develop good relationship with your neighboring country. And the teacher said, Rahul, that is over. Speaking test is over. The person was given only 6.5 in speaking, although his score in other modules were really amazing. That he didn't get a good score. I know the person, Rahul. Okay, gossip. Second one is what? Judging. So what is gossip? Gossiping means speaking ill of a country or particular community. I do not like Israel. I hate that country. They are good, they are bad. No, don't say these kinds of things. Okay. Because Westerners love Israel probably. Okay. Judging. Okay. What is it? Read it out. No rude attitudes towards the examiner. The examiner is behaving probably rudely with you, but you cannot be showing any rude attitude towards the examiner since your score depends on him or her. Judging. Don't judge. Next one is what? Not to think you are smarter than the examiner. Don't think that you are smarter than the examiner. Well, it happens with many candidates. Well, one candidate, after completing the test, called me and said the teacher is not good at speaking, the examiner, because the teacher asked me question looking at the question booklet. Okay. Okay. The teacher will ask you questions from question booklet. It is okay. In part 1, they are advised and instructed to ask you questions looking at the question booklet. They can either memorize the questions or can ask you questions looking at the question booklet. Since in part 1 they cannot change singular to plural or use a synonym while asking you question. They cannot. The whole speaking test is recorded. That's why they will ask you questions sometimes looking at the question booklet. It does not mean they do not know English. It doesn't mean that. It means they are following the instruction. And if you think you know better than the teacher, probably you know better than the teacher, but show it with humility. You can become humble and express your expertise or show your expertise. Then the next one is what? Smug attitude. What is called smug attitude? Smug. I know better than everybody. That's called smug attitude. Why is it called a smug attitude? Does it look like a mug? No, it doesn't look like a smug attitude means I know better than everybody. It is called a smug attitude. Let me tell you a joke. Celebrities are talented, right? Like Taylor Swift or then our celebrities, Justin Bieber and something like that. They're talented. One of them was asked a question, what is your favorite dish? What is your favorite? By dish, what do you mean? What is a dish? Food, right? Okay. And the person couldn't understand the question. She's a Hollywood star. My favorite dish is a mug. It's what? It's a mug. It's a mug. Okay, they give peculiar answers because they're so what? Okay, I don't want to use any negative word to describe them, but I want to give you some examples. I used to teach an English medium student, and he was studying in class 6, and I asked him how many countries are there in the world, and he said 2. What are they? England and America. What about Bangladesh? Then there are 3. How many people are there in Bangladesh? I don't know. 100, 200, something like that. 100, 200, something like that. And his mom was present right in front of me. And I looked at the mom, and the mom said, no, not 100, 200, maybe 8 crore. Okay. Maybe 8 crore. 8 crore means 8 koti, 8 koti. Okay. Mom is interesting too. They are devoid of reality in many ways. They don't know outside world, outside danger. They just live in their comfortable zone, eat, sleep, okay, go to the restroom, eat, sleep, and done. Next tip, this is a sin. You shouldn't be using that. What is it called? Exaggerate. What is called exaggerate? In Bangla, it is called bariye wala. Exaggerate. Probably you are wearing a gold bracelet, right? Is it not? Okay. So yes, it is gold. Even my dress is made of gold. Okay. I have a lot of gold, sir. How many boris? 600 boris, sir. 600 boris. 25. It cannot be 24. It looks like 26. Gold watch. Even gold pen. Oh, okay. It is called what? Exaggerating. Exaggerating means lying. It shouldn't be lying. The fact of making something is seem larger, more important, better or worse than it actually is. It is a sin of speech. See, the thing you want to describe is like a small fry. The person knows it is a small fry, but you make it seem larger and describe it like it is a big whale. It is a bad thing in speaking. Don't do that. You don't need to lie. You don't need to exaggerate. If you do that, the teacher will understand and the teacher will feel, realize it is not natural conversation or communication and will mark you poorly. Don't lie, don't exaggerate. You might have already thought, if a question is not common, I will lie. You have already thought about it, right? I will make up a story and I will tell it. No, don't do that. You don't need to. It's normal, natural conversation. If something never happened to you, say it never happened with me. The teacher will love that. It is normal, natural conversation. Now, this is another one. What is it called? Style of speaking. There is a style too. So what is it? The first one is called what? This is called the register. Register. You can speak from the upper register, you can speak from the middle part of, or you can speak from your, if you want depth, you need to speak from your, while you are describing anything emotional, sad, you need to speak from your chest because it adds depth. We associate power with depth. Sounds good. It feels when you hear someone speaking from chest. You want to hear if someone speaks from the upper register, okay? It sometimes seems nice. But if they are saying anything emotional, it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't feel good. You have to describe it in that way. Speak from your chest. Timba. What is called timba? Timba is not your voice should sound rich, smooth, clear pronunciation, warm voice like hot chocolatey voice. You can practice. Prosody. It is called what? So what is called meta language? Meta language is called rhythmic language. It is what? Rhythmic language. And here you can do that. Sir, how can I do that? See, I asked a question. How can I do that? I said, how loudly can I do that? And when I said, how, upper tone, and then I went down. So it's called melodic and rhythmic pattern. There should be a pattern in the way you say things, rhythmic pattern, and it shouldn't seem like monotone or monotonous. So what is monotonous? If anybody works hard, they will become successful. They should work hard to become successful in their life. That is called monotone. It's boring. Even if it is chunked, but if it is monotonous, it is monotonous to say English in this way. You should not be saying monotonous language in any part. Okay, that is called monotonous. Okay, there is no up and down in your. Okay, monotonous. It shouldn't be monotonous. You need to use prosody. It's meta language, language within language. You will use intonation. Your voice will go up, your voice will go down, and your voice will remain flat at times. Then next one is what? Pace. How can pace help me improve my speaking score? Of course, you shouldn't be speaking too fast or too slow. Now, well, you know the teacher is about to ask a question. You looked at the facial expression, but you have not finished answering the question. You need to go quickly to finish the answer, or you are running out of ideas. Maybe after one sentence you don't have any idea. Now you are speaking slowly to give your head some time so that you can gather some idea. Okay. should be natural. Can you speak very fast for a few seconds when needed? Then you speak what? To get attention. Be fast sometimes and then be slow to put emphasis. Next one is what? How can silence help you improve your speaking score? The teacher has asked you a question, was looking at you while you were answering first question, then you answer second question and the teacher looked at you nicely. The teacher asked you a third question, he is not looking at you, you stopped speaking. The teacher looked at you, started answering to get the attention. It's communication. You have a beautiful face, but if you do like that again and again, then some muscle can go up, right? Okay. It can happen. Okay. It can happen. Can it not? It can happen. The muscle will go up and there will be accumulation of muscles, okay, over there. It will look cuter in different way, of course. Not pitch. What is called pitch? Sentence, stress. While one sentence is important, put stress on that sentence. If you are going to say anything surprising, change your voice to show your surprise. If you are excited, bring excitement in your speech. What is stress? Okay. What is stress? Maybe you want to put emphasis on a particular word. Say that word loudly and put stress. What's the most important thing? Okay. In your life, probably. A lot of things are important. Education, communication, family. But I think the most important is happiness, focus, and volume. Sometimes you go loudly to get attention. You can speak quietly, emphasis, and to express meaning, variation. These are all parts of communication. But have you ever thought that your speaking score also depends on this? Have you thought of them? Your speaking score has something to do with these things. Okay. Did you know this? That your speaking score depends on them. I need to also focus on them. You only thought about answering the question, asking the question, and answering. That's what you thought till now. Speaking score is not speaking. Speaking is not speaking. It's communicating. Now, tips. A very important tip. Read it out. The examiner. Read it out. The examiner? Yeah. Again, read it out. The examiner must ignore any what kind of answers? Learn if you have memorized an answer and now parroting it in the exam hall, the teacher will not give you a good score. 4.5. Answer like a parrot, they will give you 4 point. Parrot. You memorize answers. And now you are answering from your memory. By speaking test is not a test of your memory, test of your communication. We'll interrupt you to give you a new question. Always answer the question, how? Does it mean you need to go out in the nature and then answer the questions? No, it doesn't mean that. You will not achieve a high score if you try to speak and memorize what? Written language. Answer in memorized in a language, it will be to your detriment. You're not get a good score for it if you do that. So if you give a memorized response, the teacher will stop and give you a fresh question to see if you can answer naturally. Again, you are answering from your memory. The teacher probably will give you another chance, but again you are answering from memory. The teacher will be frustrated. And then the teacher doesn't behave nicely because the teacher feels terribly bad. They want to give you a good score. They want to see your natural conversation, communication. Marking criteria. This is the secondary marking criteria. But the primary criteria is communication. Secondary criteria. First one, what is it? Fluency and coherence. It accounts for 25% of your marks. Second one, lexical resource. 25%. Grammar, grammatical range and accuracy, another 25%. And the last one is what? Pronunciation. So how many marking criteria are there? Four. How do you know that? It is written on the page. 4 criteria. 1 criterion. Fluency. What is fluency? Fluency is speaking English without ums and ahs and naturally, at a natural pace. Okay. When you speak, you use a lot of ums and ahs. And ahs, and after one sentence you say and ahs. It happens with you, right? It happened with me too. Me too. What is Me Too? Is it a movement? Me Too? Me Too means what? Is it a movement? There's a movement called Me Too, but we are not talking about Me Too movement here. I had the same problem. Okay. And how did I remove this problem? Of course, I mimicked, but while reading, I also made sure that I do not say and ahs while I read. When you practice reading, that means read one passage multiple times, you can do these things. So what kind of things are you talking about? This is the thing I am talking about. Polar bears are being increasingly threatened by the effects of climate change, but their disappearance could have far-reaching consequences. They are uniquely adapted to the extreme conditions of the Arctic Circle, where temperatures can reach minus 40 degrees Celsius. Have I said, When you read, also make sure you don't say ums and ahs. Coherence. What about coherence? Use cohesive devices properly. I have been focusing on cohesive devices from the beginning of our course. Some cohesive devices are used to connect similar ideas like and, in addition, also, besides. Some cohesive devices connect opposing or contrasting ideas like but, however, on the other, nevertheless, nonetheless. Okay. Some cohesive devices are used to show conclusion like in conclusion, so, okay, therefore, thus, as a result, or as a consequence. Some cohesive devices are used to give examples like, for example, such as one case, a case in point. Take for example, e.g. Okay, next one is what? Lexical resource. Lexical resource is a fancy way of saying vocabularies. Lexical resource means what? Vocabularies. And you need to use natural vocabularies. Third one is what? Another 25% mark. And the last one is what? Pronunciation. What is good pronunciation? Do you need to speak like the British? It is a car, and they say it's a car. And do you need to speak like them? No, not at all. Not at all. You don't need to speak like them. You can speak like someone from Bangladesh, or if you're from Sylhet, you can speak like a Sylheti, or if you are from Borishal, you can speak like a Borishalla. No problem with it. Is there anyone from Borishal? None from Borishal? In past, we used to get some people from Borishal. Yeah. But now we are getting fewer from Borishal. I love people from Borishal. Trust me, I love. Huh? Why? They're very friendly. Not I want to say. If you're from the northern part of Bangladesh, like Chapainawabganj or Satkira, like Kushtia or some areas like that, or ancient Bengal, then you are a good person. But if you are from southern part of Bangladesh, like Shoritpur, Faridpur, Borishal, Jalokati, you are not a people from those parts of Bangladesh are not that good. But people in Chittagong are good. They're royal. Chittagong. Mixed. It's a very big area. They're good. In general, they are good. But because of poverty, in Noakhali in past were poverty stricken. But because of poverty, and parts of Noakhali are very close to the river, their people are mostly fishermen. Because Noakhali is the largest district in Bangladesh in terms of population. Apart from Dhaka, it includes a lot of people, Noakhali. And they were poor in past. After 1971, a lot of Bangladeshis moved to Pakistan because of poverty, and most of them are from Noakhali. So in Pakistan right now, almost 30 lakh Bangladeshi people live. Most of them are from Noakhali. What is fluency? Read it out. Do you speak in a that is easy to natural way? Sir, can I speak very fast? I can speak like a football commentator or a WWE or WWF probably, right? I can speak like them. Can I speak as fast as them in the speaking test? Yeah, you can, but you will do yourself a big disservice, because IELTS speaking test is not football commentary. It is like it's like an interview. It's like an interview, a BCS job interview. Here you have to speak smartly, not very fast and not very slow. Second one, what is it? Do you link up your using appropriate cohesive devices? These are the cohesive devices. Now, candidates might face two types of hesitations. Two types of hesitation. One is bad, the other is not bad. What are the types of hesitation candidates can face? Band 7 speaker. I want to get 9 in fluency, sir. How can I get that? If you can speak English without feeling tired, your fluency level is 9, 8 or 9. Without feeling tired. You speak Bangla, you become 10% tired. You speak English, you become 20% tired. So no, not 9, not 8. Probably a bare 7. Less than that. A band 7 speaker can speak at length without noticeable effort or loss of what? Coherence. May demonstrate what? Language related hesitation. What kind of problem? So it's a problem, hesitation. Hesitation means loss of fluency. What is called hesitation? Loss of fluency. You lose your fluency, you say ums and ahs, then you pause. There are long pauses in your speech or frequent pauses in your speech. It is called loss of hesitation. But what kind of hesitation is it? Language, but a band 9 speaker can also hesitate. They can also pause. But this kind of pause is called content related. What kind of? Language hesitation means you don't know language properly. You are struggling with vocabulary and grammar. You try to make sentences. Now you're struggling with vocabulary and grammar. It is called language hesitation. But you know English, you know grammar, vocabulary. The question is difficult. You don't have a lot of ideas. You can pause. There will be no reduction of mark. How many hesitations are there? 2. One is what? Holy madam, I like your phone. Okay. Okay. Phone, right? Can you spell the word phone? PH, but it starts with P, right? P. Although it starts with P, it ends, it sounds as a for. If phone, phone. Upper teeth, lower lip. Do you know how to say something using upper teeth and lower lip? Upper teeth and lower lip. So what is the lip? Lip is lip. Upper teeth and lower lip. Now touch your lower lip with your upper teeth. Phone. Not two lips. Phone. I like your lip, but don't touch two lips. Okay. Upper teeth and lower lip. Upper teeth and lower lip. Phone. Regularly practice, you will be able to say phone properly. Phone properly. Upper teeth and lower lip phone. Phonetics, right? Okay. Our teachers can teach phonetics to, Sohel knows phonetics. Then Priyanti probably doesn't know phonetics, but she can use phonetics. She uses phonetics properly. Okay. So a band 9 speaker can face hesitation, but what kind of hesitation? Which is bad? Language or content? Language hesitation is bad. Lexical resource means what? Vocabularies. No? Always use vocabularies natural to you. And now, did you memorize idioms and phrases? Mashallah, that's really good that you have not memorized or waste your time memorizing idioms and phrases. Many coaching centers teach idioms and phrases. Many coaching centers, they do. Why do they do it? They misunderstand one English word. What is the word they misunderstand? See, lexical resource, band 9, use what? Idiomatic language. What is it called? Idiomatic. So, idiomatic language means 9, band 9. And they think idiomatic means idioms. It's a misunderstanding. Is it not funny? They misunderstand one word, and that's why they make the life of many candidates miserable and difficult. What have I written? Idiomatic or idioms? Idiom means what? Idiom means these are the things like over the moon, okay, see the light, these kinds of idioms. Butterfly in my stomach. So what does it mean? Butterfly in my stomach, butterfly in my stomach. Over the moon. Okay. These are called idioms, but marking criteria does not say idioms. Marking criteria writes idiomatic. And now look at the meaning of the word idiomatic. Idiomatic means what? Natural, native speaker, grammatical, correct, colloquial, everyday, conversational. They misunderstand the word. Many teachers, even I misunderstood it, but my memorizing power was low, so I didn't memorize idioms. I thought I will learn it naturally. I saw many teachers with sheets, okay, and a big list of idioms and giving it to the teachers. Hey, memorize this idiom. These are band 9 idioms, and you will get a good score in speaking. Why do they do it? Because they read marking criteria, they download it, and they misunderstand what? Idiomatic. And they think idiomatic means idioms, but idiomatic does not mean idioms. Although IDOM common. Idiomatic means natural. Because of their misunderstanding, they teach students wrong things. Have you have you seen any teacher giving you? Have you found any teacher giving you sheets of idioms? Nobody gave you that. That's good. Okay. They say that. Who says that? They are not, probably the person is not my student. Okay. If idiomatic languages or expressions are part of your common conversation, you can use idioms. But you cannot memorize idioms to get a good score. It's a bad approach. When you practice listening, have you found any idioms in their speech? Then why would you memorize idioms? They use natural normal conversation. And for natural normal conversation, if any idioms is used as part of natural conversation, it is okay. But they misunderstand idioms and idiomatic. Idiomatic means natural. And the last one is what? Pronunciation accounts for another 25% of your score. And pronunciation means what? Effortless to understand. So what does it mean? Now, when you hear me speak, can you understand me? But if you hear somebody whose speech you find it difficult to understand, then their pronunciation is not good. Good pronunciation means easy to understand. Good pronunciation includes many features. All the features of good pronunciation. First one is what? Pronouncing individual sounds clearly. English has 44 sounds, and it is not possible to learn 44 sounds consciously. You can learn them subconsciously. When you hear, you learn them. You can learn the 44 sounds, learn 44 sounds consciously, but using them, okay, by looking at dictionary or just by their names or by what the sound is difficult. You need to listen to a lot of native speakers and then learn them next. Second one is what? Using intonation and stress to help communicate your ideas. Intonation. Voice goes up and down. It's called intonation. And then you put stress. Stress means what? Mashallah. The more I see you, the more I become amazed. No, it's not a mistake. Trust me, it's a big mistake. It's a blunder. Okay. Stress means tension too, but here I do not, or you don't need to feel tension. But what kind of pressure? Pressure on a particular word. Similar to that. And the next part is what? Chunking. What is chunking, madam? Chunk means like this. What is chunking? What is chunking? No, part by part. Bhenge means what kind of bhenge? Part, one part and then another part. Divide the sentence into manageable chunks. Okay, read it out. Running your words together. How? Naturally and clearly. Not in a robotic way. Next one is what? Good pronunciation. It's a pen I want. So how many chunks are there? Two manageable chunks. It's a pen. You will pronounce these four words like one long word. It's a pen. And how many words are there? How many words are there? Three or four? But they will be pronounced like one long word. And then you will say, she can be cute. Not can be. She can be cute. Chunk, one chunk. She can be cute. You need to know four sounds properly. English has two E like Bangla. Shor E, Dirgho E. Shor U, Durgho U. E, U, U. U. English has got two E's. One is short E, another is long. Another is short U, another is long. This is short. It, but it is eat, long. Meal. Sit, eat. Fish. Read. Full. Upper teeth, lower lip. Pronounce it. Full. Not full. Not like that. Full. Upper teeth, lower lip. Upper teeth, lower lip. Upper teeth, lower lip. Full. Sure. Sure, you can. Probably you can. We will talk about cue card in our third class. Are you tired? Why do people become tired? Nutrition. Become more tired and then practice. It will help you in different other ways. So what are the other ways? Like more calorie will be burned and you will become slim. Is it not good? You'll become slim. Okay. If you are tired and you are practicing more, you'll become more tired. So more calories will be burned. More fat will be burned. So I don't have any fat. Everyone has some fat. Okay. You are not skinny. That's good. Skinny jeans. Huh? Okay. Next one. Let's know a few more sounds. T, right? Ch. Read it out. It ends with ed, right? But it's not pronounced do. It's pronounced to. Chase. Hope. T. Not do. Kicked. Missed. Washed. Laughed. Helped. Feast. Flight, based, arrived, learned. But these words are end with ed, but they are not pronounced wanted. They are pronounced wanted. Wanted, decided, waited, acted, melted, mended, painted. Mashallah. Okay. Painted, right? Holy madam? Painted. Painted. And it pronounced like tulips. Tulip, painted. Painted. Place. Tulips. Place. Tulips. Place. Education. Here you have got some syllabus. Education. You will put stress on education. What is intonation? The rise and fall of the voice in. She spoke English with a German intonation. Intonation, it is an important part of your pronunciation. Good intonation stops your speech sounding too monotonous. You will take your voice up and you will take your voice down. And you know what chunking is. At the beginning of the week, we talked about what speaking well means. This is one long chunk. At the beginning of the week, we talked about what speaking well. It isn't an easy task. It isn't an easy task. It is not an easy task. Not like that. It isn't an easy task. No. Here of links with beginning and of. Of means relation. So you will pronounce it like one long word. At the beginning of the week, we talked about what speaking well means. It isn't an easy task. Yes, chunking. The boy standing on the road is my brother. In many societies, women have more rights than men. In many societies, how do you say it? In many societies, women have more rights than men. Women have more rights than men. No and more will become more. Because of the influence of more sound, N will become more. Pronounce three sounds with me. Po with two lips. Po, two lips will touch. Po, po, mo. Now say mother without touching two lips. Without touching two lips. Can you do that? You cannot. Can you say Baba without touching two lips? You cannot. Because In English, some sounds must be pronounced using your two lips. And in English, there are many sounds, only two sounds that are pronounced using your upper teeth and lower lip. One is fa and va. Fa, va, fa, va, fa, va. Fine, fly, flying, floor, fine, flies, flying on the floor, Vivek, visit, various, vast, valleys, value, victory, varies, voters, vote, visa, upper teeth, lower lip, visa. Now, how can you improve your speaking score? How can you? At first, we talked about the tips for communication. Now we are talking about another part. How can I improve my speaking score? You can improve your speaking score by making sure you answer each question how? Fully. Upper teeth, lower lip, fully. Not double L, one L, fully. Before the test, practice speaking as often as you can. Okay, it's not as you. As you. It is easier to pronounce. As you can. And make sure that you can talk for 2 minutes on a topic. How did I say? Practice speaking as often as you can. How do you say it? If it is a noun, it will pronounce as practice. But if it is a verb, it will be pronounced as practice. When it is a noun, stress is put on pa. But when it is a noun, stress is put on tha. Isn't it amazing? When you pronounce it like a noun, stress is put on pa, practice. But when it is a verb, stress is put on tha, practice. That's why I said practice. Because it's a verb here, it is not a noun here. Yes. Okay. From your pronunciation, you can understand it. If use is a noun, it is pronounced as use. But if it is a verb, use, the sound is pronounced. Mimic. Artificially learning phonetics is not good. That's why I do not. Then you will be bogged down with something unnecessary. How is it pronounced? Do not. Not try. Try. Okay, you will try to pronounce like try. Instead of focusing your language skills, developing your reading skills, you will focus on pronunciation. You will try to pronounce like that. Do not try to learn answers for the test. You will speak like that. You will from the beginning will do that. No, it's not natural. Do not learn answers for the studying all aspects of English, including pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar will also help improve your IELTS. It's a verb. It has got two parts, im and prove. Since it is a verb, stress is put on the second part. Prove. Your IELTS is now. Is eye contact necessary? When is eye contact necessary? The men amongst you who are good at making friends, female friends, know how important eye contact. You look at them deep in their eyes and give them a signal, I'm available after the class. Wait for me. Let's grab a coffee and then we will go to a park. After that, we will go somewhere. With their eyes, just with their eye contact, they give all this. Eye contact is necessary in every stage of our life. Be it inviting someone for a date, or be it giving them a signal that you are available, or be it that or giving them a signal that you are not available. So eye contact is necessary, right? What contact? In the exam hall, eye contact is necessary too. But make sure that you do not give them a wrong that you look them in their eyes, but you shouldn't look at them without blinking. You can blink at sometimes as well. Otherwise, they can feel awkward. Make good eye contact. What kind of eye contact? Not bad eye contact. With the examiner from the moment you enter the. And how will you answer? Answer in a polite and friendly way. Your body language is an important part of. Is body language important? Candidates not attending speaking classes do not know this. They think speaking is only speaking, and they will get a good score by speaking only. No, it does not work like that. Speaking means a package, and your speaking does not start from the moment you start answering. It doesn't begin at that moment. It begins when you enter. Even before that, it begins from your dress. Let's see what the book says. Speaking test is a formal situation. What kind of situation? Formal situation. What mal? Formal, right? Okay. It's a formal situation. Holy brother, read it out. Speaking test is a, and then after that what? It's important. Appropriate, right? Appropriate what? Appropriate body language. You need to show appropriate body language. Okay. Now, dress appropriately and use appropriate what? Body language. Speaking face to face. You can use face to face, version, or that there will be a live teacher, either face to face or through computer. Put a tick, read it out, put a tick or a cross to show which of these would be appropriate in the speaking, which would be appropriate in the speaking test. Put a tick if you think it is appropriate, put a cross if you think it is not appropriate. This is the first problem. Chewing gum. What is called? Chewing gum. Why? Because come. Can you chew gum while speaking in the exam hall? Although you are very good at hiding chewing gum in your mouth, no, you cannot. The teachers are trained to identify if you have chewing gum in your mouth. Next one, from a bottle of. Okay, the teacher has a bottle of water on the table, and you become very nervous. Can you do that? Checking your mobile phone. Can you check your phone using your mobile phone to time your interview? No. Next one, what? Using jeans and t-shirt. Yes, you can, but make sure you are not wearing ripped. It is called what? Ripped jeans. I'm gonna find even dangerous picture, but ripped jeans. Asking the examiner your score at the end of the test. Can you do that? Please tell me. I will not tell it to anybody. Please tell me. No, don't do that. Okay. Next one, what? Shrug. Shrug. Shrugging your shoulders to show you don't know, or you have been asked a question. This is called shrugging. Okay. Don't shrug to show you don't understand. You have to say it. This is called shrugging. What? That's called shrugging. And the last one, asking to leave the room for a moment during the speaking test lasts between 11 and 14 minutes. After 5 minutes, no, you cannot. Wait. Shrugging your shoulders. How will you practice? How will you practice? You practice many ways. You can mimic. Regularly, do you mimic? How many of you regularly mimic? It has improved a lot. Okay. You don't mimic? Sometimes. Why sometimes? Every day you can mimic. Do you mimic? Why sometimes, gentlemen? You have nice mustache, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, mustache. One day I went to a saloon and I looked at a picture of Ranveer Singh. And okay, can you please make my mustache like him? Mustache or mustache? I guess mustache. No,
Moustache.
mustache.
Moustache.
Mustache. Mustache.
Mustache.
Mustache.
Mustache. Mustache.
Mustache, not mustache. It is mustache. Mustache. You have nice mustache. And I told him, please make me like Ranveer Kapoor. Okay. And then the barber did the thing, and I looked at Ranveer Kapoor and I looked at myself. They are hero, right? They are different. They are one piece. Mimic, regularly mimic, gentlemen. You, madam, do you mimic? Instantly. You can pause, but instantly. Just less than a second later. Holy madam, Marshall. What is it? Sticky note. Okay. Post IT note. Sticky note. You know, Niti knows many things. If you know it or not, she knows a lot of. She's a package. She can dance. She can sing. She can cut jokes. She can make friends. She can befriend anyone easily. And today I saw her walking like a model, like similar to, it's not cat walking, but I think she can also do that. In our next tour, inshallah, we will arrange a program of cat walk. Okay? And you like quiz. If cat walk is your luck or your choice, if you find it, probably you will also show how to walk like a cat. Okay? But proud of her, right? Proud of her. She's a package. No. Listen to the same clips many times. Next one is what? Read the same passage many times. Are you reading actually? 100 times, 50 times. It is very beneficial. Very beneficial. Even if you do not know the meaning of all the words, just read it a couple of times, automatically many things will be understood. Then again, more things will be understood. You can videotape yourself and practice with a partner. Mirror practice, self-talk, memorize answers, but in the exam, answer what? Naturally. Mock. How many mock tests should you attend? 4 to 6. So that you can make sure you can keep good eye contact. Eye contact and a smiling face. Eye contact and what? Smiling. Test tip. Make sure you can practice regularly, like a Batman. Regularly practice. Make sure you arrive early for the test so that you are not hurrying and have time. Relax. You are not hurrying. Arrive early. If possible, visit the test center before the day of your test so that you are familiar with where you need to go. The speaking test should be a normal, natural conversation. If you try to give a prepared speech, the examiner will interrupt you and ask you in IELTS speaking test, questions will always be common. That's why you need to answer them naturally. You will get all the questions common if you practice Cambridge 9 to 20. More than enough. Okay. Before the test begins, you need to greet the teacher. There is a part called introduction. Here, you and the teacher will introduce each other. 3 to 4 questions will be asked. What is the first question? Holy madam, I like your handwriting, but I can give you a page if you need. What is your full name, please? You will give your full name. What is your full name? What is your full name? Okay. And what is your full name? Mashallah. What is your full name? Tibdash. What is your full name? What is your full name? Your full name? I think it is 3. Sumaya, Afrin, and Asha. You can practice these questions and answers. You can say my full names. Next, what should I call you? You can call me Ikhtiyar. Please call me. Just call me. Next question. May I see your identification, please? Yes, here it is. Here you go. Here you are. Of course, here you are. Which one do you like? Our job is not to become 100% formal. We are human and we will show that we are human. And the last question. Do you work or? Are you a student or a now you don't work or you don't study? So, sir, what shall I say? Shall I lie and say that I'm a job holder? I work in a multinational company? No, you will not. Sir, I have completed my honors masters and now I'm preparing for IELTS. Can I say that? Yes, you will tell the truth. No lie, no lie. Lies are bad for speaking. In part 1, topics will be familiar, usually about you and easy things. And this part will last between 4 and 5 minutes. Tips for part 1. Try to show. In part 1, you will be asked a question and directly answer because all the answers are already in your head. Sir, if there is any difficult question, there will be no difficult. What is your favorite color? This kind of question. Okay. Do you like eating out, eating in a restaurant? Do you have any favorite restaurant? Do you watch movies? What kind of food or what kinds of food do you like eating most? These kinds of questions will be asked and you will not think. You will directly answer. Not thinking, just answer. No thinking. What is your favorite color? I don't have any favorite color. I like all colors. All colors. But I try to put on dresses with matching colors. Black, white, or then something like that. Yellow and gray. Don't worry about vocabulary and memorize it 10 times. Don't worry about vocabulary and grammar. Read it. Don't worry about vocabulary and grammar. Don't worry about vocabulary and grammar. Have you memorized it? Don't worry about what? What does it mean? If you become worried about vocabulary and grammar, you will not be able to speak. It's a guarantee. Next question. Next tip. Give a reason or a number of reasons. Some questions are yes no questions, some questions are WH questions. Yes no questions can be answered by saying either yes or no. Are you happy? Yes, I am. Are you a student? Yes, I am. Okay. Are you a job holder? No, I am not. Do you like traveling by bus? No, I don't. Some questions are yes no. You can say yes and no to answer those questions. But some questions are WH and to answer those questions you cannot say yes or no. Okay. What is your favorite color? Yes. No, you cannot say that. What foods do you like eating? Yes. No, you cannot say that. If the question is yes no, of course you have to give a reason or a number of reasons. Even if the question is WH, after answering you have to give a reason or a number of reasons. Otherwise, how will you explain it? Without explaining, you will not get a good score. That's why native speakers do not get a good score in IELTS. In speaking, not IELTS, fully in speaking. If appropriate or needed, give an example. Examples are wow to explain your answer. Do you have any favorite color? No, I don't have any favorite color. I like all colors, but I prefer black, gray, white, olive. However, as I am aging, I am turning to or preferring lighter colors, not deep, lighter. Examples are great ways to explain your answer. Never just give a one-word answer. Read it out. Never just give a memorize it. Never just give a one-word answer. Never just give a one-word answer. Never just give a one-word answer. Next one is what? Stop with speaking is not speaking only. I mean not going on and on and on and on. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is, I don't have any favorite color. I like all. I think colors symbolize many things. If you are wearing white, if you like white, probably your heart is white. Or other colors also have different symbols like black. Black symbolizes sadness. Red on the other hand symbolizes something different. Your youth. Green, deep red symbolize youth. Red also symbolizes sacrifice. This is not answered. This is just explaining and going on and on and on. You cannot go on and on and on. Somewhere you need to stop. After saying 3-4 sentences, you stop. And then what? Smiling face. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is, it's important to listen carefully to the examiner's questions so that you can answer in the, they will ask you question from 2 to 3 tenses in part 1. Present tense, past tense, future. While answering yes no question, read out. While answering yes no question, it is important to answer the question and then give reasons for your answer. Don't simply answer yes no, read out again. Fine. So you have learned a lot of tips, right? So which one or which tips have been most beneficial for you today? You have learned many things, right? Next, some important things to remember. You need to remember tense, singular, plural, absolute words like everyone, all, must, should, have to, and then what? Tricks. Answer. You can use a variety of cohesive devices. Not the same cohesive devices every time. Like once you use first, second, third, the second time you can use first of all, second of all, third of all. Another time you can use first day, secondly, third. Or begin with generation also. First start, next then. Most importantly, later and then. Well, in part 1, topic often seems childish. Starting phrases or yes no questions can be answered using the following starting phrases. Do you? Answer. No, I don't know. Did you? Would you? No, I. Have you? Yes, I have. No, I. Had you? Will you? Is she? Are they? Now, questions and answers. Cambridge 9, page number 32. Part 1. What games are popular in your country, right? How many sentences will you say? 3-4 sentences. Now, read it, answer. Read it. Nowadays, for geographical and history, Bangladesh is a South. Play. Now, did you get some ideas? Like after saying cricket, you have to say about another game because the question says games. It's not game. So we talked about 3 games. You need to also carefully listen if the question is in singular or in plural. Okay. Make no mistake. You should give your own. You can read by answer and even memorize it to improve your English skills. But you must produce your own response, not simply. You may gather ideas, but do not rely on a memorized. But memorizing is good. Memorizing is good for improving English skills. Next question. Do you play any games? It's a yes/no question, right? Answer it. Play any outdoor game because I'm very busy with my studies and work. I cannot make time for both, but in my channel, I used to play both cricket and cricket. I was a good all-rounder. At present, however, I sometimes play mobile games and some indoor games such as call bridge and chess. Did you get ideas? Now I don't play, but you can talk about your childhood and used to play this sport or that is okay. Third question, how do people? Okay, answer it. There are most importantly, which was start playing, make mistakes, correct ourselves, and laugh. Secondly, some go to class or sports such as BKs, Abahani and Mohammedan, where they are, in addition, many of us learn from our elders, seniors, or from the answer. The approach is very classic. Read it out. People start playing, make mistakes, and learn. Then, or senior. Professional, however, go to class, sports centers such as BKSP, Abahani, Mohammedan, and so on, where they are coach. Next question. Do you think it is important for people to play games? Answer it. Yes, I do. Sports, most important. Playing sports is fun and nice pastime. Secondly, they teach us some good qualities such as discipline, team spirit, management, organization, and leadership. Of course, sports are a great form of exercise and are thus beneficial for health. Next day, we will solve all the questions of part 1, 9 to 20.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
When we first entered when we first enter, how should we greet